number 2 about your house coming your way. Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app. Stream it live anywhere on the planet. On your browser, foxsportsradiocharlotte.com. 9 to 11 every Saturday morning right here on Fox Sports Charlotte. YouTube Live, Facebook Live every Tuesday, 10 o'clock. We're streaming live. Spotify, Apple Play. We're everywhere if you find us. You know, the day's technology makes it darn near impossible to be known. You only got 7 billion podcasters out there. Content, new career pathway. I'm content. I'm what do they call it? A content creator. What's the other word they call it?
Influencer.
Influencer. There you go. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
I got Alex Fisher and Josh Davis in the house today from Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions, 2 young men. Great examples of 2 entrepreneurs right out of college getting their heads together as 2 friends, grew up together, and created a new company. Whose idea was it to create Rhino Lift?
I guess it was mine. I guess I came up with the name.
So you came up with the name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The name was first?
Yeah, well, we came up, I guess, with the business model first, and then we were like, all right, what's a good name? And started doing a little thinking. And
now, one day, did you call Alex and just say, tell me the story. I want to hear this story about how y'all created Rhino Lift.
Yeah, basically. We always talked about starting some type of business, and we threw around a couple different ideas, and we'd go pitch them to Alex's dad, and he would, poke holes in it and say, oh, I don't know about that idea. I don't know about that idea. And then we talked about the foundation repair space, and his dad said, yeah, it sounds like a pretty good idea. So I called Alex up one day and said, hey, you want to leave your job and come start this business with me?
And so you did it?
Yeah, we just jumped off then.
And so y'all are both early 20s? Or
late 20s, yeah.
Mid, late 20s?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mid, late 20s, 2 young men right out of not high school, college, relatively speaking, and dove into the business world.
Yeah, that's right.
And how'd you come up with the name?
I don't know. I just started thinking. I was like, we wanted to have some type of animal involved, and Rhino's a nice, strong animal, and we lift a lot of stuff. So we said, let's put the 2 together, and there you go. Pretty memorable name, we thought. And
so you go out, buy your truck, right?
Yep.
First stage. And there again, I got to talk about this in the trades. Tools are important. You cannot have a business in the trades without tools.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we agree?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Tools are a basic requirement. You got to have the right tools to perform and do the job correctly. One of the most important tools you'll have is a vehicle.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I know a fellow right now, he's really good with his hands. He's great with his mind. Very resourceful thinker, critical thinker, but he doesn't have a pickup truck. And I said pickup truck, but it doesn't matter whether you have a pickup. What's the first truck you own? It
was a Chevy 2500.
You remember it well. Did you ever own a pickup?
No, not.
See, notice I knew to pick on here. The bean counter, the retired. No, he ain't retired.
Far from that.
The rookie construction guy, and you were, but you knew you had to have a truck.
Yep.
Now, do you have a truck now?
I don't know.
You're a smart man. You stay right where you're at. Keep driving the cars. But you went and bought a truck. And you bought a brand new one?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And what kind did you buy?
It's a Chevy 2500 HD.
So HD 2500.
Yep.
That's 3/4 ton, I think, in most people's way of thinking.
Yep.
And how long did that last?
We had that one for about a year, and then we were like, all right, we need a box truck. So
there you go.
We went and bought a 3500 box truck and sold the 2500, and then I think we got 3 box trucks before we got another just regular pickup truck.
And you had to go get you another truck.
Yeah, actually, me and Alex had a 4Runner before, old 2010 4Runner with almost 200,000 miles on it. We shared it, actually, for about a year.
Really?
Yeah, so we bought the truck, put a crew in it once we had enough, backlog, and then Alex let me use his car, so I was using it to go run appointments and, look at jobs and all that. And
so you
I'd
were
pick
sales.
him up on the way to work.
You were sales to start with.
Yep.
You went out and sold the jobs.
Yep.
And then you've hired some salespeople.
Yeah, we probably have 7 or 8 sales guys for us now.
7 or 8?
Yeah.
And you got 30 overall?
Yep.
Wow, what a growth.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Been fun?
Oh, it's been a blast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You smiling.
Oh, yeah.
You happy boy? You a happy boy. Got 2 smiling guys here. To me, I tell people all the time, if if it offends you, me calling you boy, well, then you and I need to part ways. Because everybody less than 50 to me is a boy. And, you know, it's in generic terms, you got boys and then you got girls, and then there's nothing in between, you know.
Right.
And these are young boys, but they're men, you know. Married.
Married, yep.
How long?
Coming up on 2 years in September.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
You made it 2 years. Mm-hmm. Kids in the plan, maybe?
In the plan, yep. Hopefully come up here soon.
There you go.
Yep.
You know, women love men in construction. They do. But I don't think that has any bearing, does it?
No.
Where's your wife from?
She's from Waxhaw, so
Another country girl.
She was born in Tennessee, but they moved over to North Carolina when she was pretty young. But yeah, she grew up in Waxhaw, and now we're over in the Huntersville area.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So you're living up in Huntersville.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. Marriage is a great thing. There's another thing we could bring up and talk about for a long time, but we're not. So it's all good. And you're not married yet?
Nope. I got a old bird dog. That's all I got.
Old bird dog.
Yeah.
What's your bird dog's name?
His name's Nash. He's a GSP.
How old is your dog?
4 years old.
Cool.
Yeah.
You do any hunting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do some quail hunting with him.
So you're a hunter too?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of deer hunting growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet your parents still have deer in the freezer.
Yeah, probably.
That's the best meat you can eat.
Oh, yeah.
To me, you can't beat deer.
Yep.
And it's very, very, very nutrient full and very healthy for you.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, I can't eat a deer. Well, you don't know what good meat is.
Yeah.
It's surely a lot better meat than what you buy at Food Line. I'm going to
Right.
tell you that. Or Harris Teeter or any of the mass groceries.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Where are you living today?
I'm living up in Cornelius, actually. Yep.
Close to your place.
Yeah, probably 4 minutes from the office, so it's pretty nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, what's your vision as far as where you're at in business, both of you? I mean, we've got the bean counter. We've got what would your position be? You're the CEO?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yes.
If you had to put titles on it, me and Alex run we do a lot of things in business together, so we kind of run it, side by side, I guess you could say.
But you're still looking for help.
Oh yeah, always looking
What
for
kind
help.
of help?
Always looking for good sales consultants, always looking for good production guys. I mean, the rate we're growing, we definitely need some people.
Is there an age group that you like to pull from?
It doesn't matter too much to us. We're pretty agnostic to the age group. Whoever just works hard, has good ethics, and high level of integrity, and doesn't mind working hard.
Working hard is relative. If you enjoy what you do, is it hard?
It's not work at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a tremendous challenge to what y'all do. Mm-hmm. Engineers, how many engineers do y'all have relationships with?
Lots.
Well, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Because y'all work in a very heavily certification-oriented
Yeah.
side of business because it's structural.
Right.
And inspections are critical. Mm-hmm. Permitting. Talk about permitting.
Pull a lot of permits. Catherine, the one woman we have working for us, she deals with all the permit offices.
Her background's with construction too, is it?
She actually came from a recruiting company before. She also went to App State, funny enough, but she was a friend of a friend that we got referred to and interviewed her, loved her, and she's done a great job for us so far. But she's done really well with the permitting.
So you permit, 90% of your jobs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much all of them.
Pretty much all of them?
Yeah.
So it'd be a higher number than that.
Yeah, pretty much anything except for concrete leveling.
All right. I'm going to just speak in general terms here. You're all over North and South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Alex, day to day, what do you do?
It's always something new every week. I mean, we're doing a lot of building out our team at this point. So a lot of the accounting, normal bean counter responsibilities have passed from me to a shared service team that we have now. So it's a lot of how do we recruit really, really good talent? How do we put together a good comp structure for people, get people motivated, hold people accountable, build systems that can scale to the level that we're trying to get this year?
You're more of the office administrative manager. Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think.
In assuming that?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking as a business owner, and y'all, like I told you before, y'all are some of the youngest business guys I've met quite some time. I can't even remember how long it's been since I met a young administrative crew like you guys, and I honor you and I applaud you, you know. But I hear complaints every week, day in, day out, about the labor force, about many, many different things. What is the greatest challenge that y'all have encountered in this business over the past 5 years of growth?
I mean, even
You're
just
still growing, but
yeah, even beyond just our business, I think, you know, retaining people and finding talent are probably one of the biggest things you're dealing with. At the end of the day, each business is doing a different service or selling a different product, but it's all people at the end of the day. So how do you build a culture where people find extreme accountability, they take ownership of what they want to do?
whoa,
Yep.
no, really?
Yep.
That's a challenge you got.
It's one of the biggest challenges. And it's a lot of it falls on, you know, me and Josh to try and set those parameters and get good advice and, you know, stuff from them to be able to put those together. So
Right. Well, as you grow, I mean, I say every week, and no matter what size group I get together, the most important thing we do every day is communicate. Mm-hmm. Communication is absolutely key in the success of any group or any forward-moving entity, right?
100%.
Communication. And are you finding that to be a challenge in itself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, communication's absolutely key. If you don't do that, things fester. People keep it to their chest. They don't tell you, and then over time that builds resentment, and then it usually all explodes at one point. But if you constantly communicate, do one-on-ones, do what you can to get good feedback of what we're doing correct and also what we're not doing correct, you're going to build a really good team at that point because you can talk to each other really effectively.
One thing I find that people don't do criticism very well. Mm-hmm. They get defensive and they get protective. And look, I love criticism. You know, I don't have to agree, but I can listen. Mm-hmm. But yet I can be better if I listen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's something right there that I'm asking from your point of view. Do you find that people don't listen much?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a struggle for sure. A lot of people want to talk a lot more than they listen.
Yeah, I've been accused of that quite a bit in my life. But then everybody laughs when I say that because it's true. And I do like to talk. But I have learned through the years, and the reason I say what I say about talking is because I've learned the hard way, unfortunately. Men are like that. Yeah, we're big boys dressed in men's clothes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we're all hard-headed. Very hard-headed.
What's your oldest employee? Roughly.
Mid to late 50s.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't have any old guys in there.
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. Where's Barry on the spectrum? I'd like.
Barry's in his mid to late 50s.
That's what I was saying. He's got some age on him.
Yeah.
You got many like him?
Oh, yeah. We got guys like him that are basically like spring chickens, though. Barry will jump in there and run a jackhammer better than he'll go tit for tat with a lot of the guys we have in the field.
I know that for a fact because, see, that's experience. I have a problem releasing that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm working hard on that because when I go to a job, well, take, for example, yesterday, it's hard for me to crawl out of the hole and say, you get down there.
Right.
What do you want me to do? What needs to be done? And that's a test.
Right.
And, you know, I left a job 2 weeks ago. I had him, and he said, well, thank you. I said, for what? He says, being honest with me and letting me know. Mm-hmm. Well, see, he's a great guy. He didn't mind the criticism. And, you know, and that's the purpose in me sharing this is because if you can't accept criticism, you got a problem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all need to be criticized, and we all need to learn to fail. Now I got a big question for you in business. What's the biggest faux pas?
Oh, I don't know. We have those all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, failure is where you learn the most. If you're not learning something through failure, you're doing it wrong.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head there, but can you share a big one with us?
I'm trying to think of a big one.
How about a little one?
Yeah. I mean, we've had, times with customers where we've, screwed the pooch and we should have done things differently. The biggest thing we've learned is, if you make a mistake and you fail, own up to it, take responsibility for it and make it right. That's what we tell a lot of our customers is, we're not going to be 100%.
Nobody is.
We're going to mess up.
We
We're
all
going to
make mistakes.
That's right. It's just how do you react to it? If you keep trying to pass blame to somebody else, it's never going to go over well. But if you own it and make it right, then most people are fine with that.
Well, on that note, blaming's a sign of lack of.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a bunch of people that blame, and men, you're big into that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you find that to be true?
Yeah.
Although women can't be criticized. They don't do well with that, do they?
Yeah. Alex might be the better ask that question too.
I played the fifth there.
Yeah. Well, they don't, and that's just a trait. And call it what you want. I'm not being critical. I'm just being real, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people have to learn to take criticism, deal with the criticism, and learn from each and every moment they're out there
Right.
playing in the field.
Right.
Because we're going to screw up.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everybody that works with me, for me, you're going to mess up, but it's okay. But in school, they don't teach you that.
Right.
They teach you that failing's bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, failing is actually better for you than anything because you're going to learn.
Right.
It's just, especially if you take it to heart
Yeah.
and learn from it
Right.
as a mistake.
Yeah.
My goodness, taking a test in school, what'd you look at when they gave you the paper? You looked at the red marks.
Right. Yeah.
Those are the ones you made wrong. You
Right.
got wrong. That's where we learn, right?
Yep.
Why would they give the paper back out if you didn't learn something from it?
Right.
But that essentially is school.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
But when you went to high school, Mount Pleasant, and you too, did you find it enriching because of did you find it good? I mean, you went to a great high school.
Yeah. No, we learned a lot there. I had some really good teachers. I would say I probably learned the most from my masonry teacher, Ryan Shaver. I mean, I obviously learned how to learn.
He was your teacher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was teacher.
Yeah, he was the
at Mount
teacher of the masonry program, and then also I worked with him on the side during the summers too when I didn't have football workouts. So, I mean, yeah, we learned a skill on how to lay brick, but I think it was the soft skills we learned from him a lot. Just hard work, a good work ethic, being honest with people, just all those things you learn from him.
Well, Mount Pleasant is definitely a how would I say it? I know it sounds crazy, but there's a pocket of work ethic in that area of the country that, like the McGee maintenance facility.
Right.
You ever been there?
I have not.
You never been there?
Uh-uh.
Oh, you got to go. Now, you're talking about a maintenance facility. That is a maintenance facility. But you're talking about the McGee brothers.
Right.
And masonry. And they do concrete, flat work, masonry of all kinds, and foundation work, site work.
Yep.
And about everything dealing with infrastructure around the house.
Right.
Up to the finished brick veneered structure.
Right.
And but that is an example of Griffin Masonry, Huntley Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They're all basically the same on work ethic and life skills and values.
Yep.
And soft skills.
Right.
You can't work for them without a haircut.
Yep.
You got to be dressed accordingly.
Right.
You can't say foul mouth. You can't be a foul mouth person, and I love it.
Yep.
It's great. And I'll be honest too. I've been criticized for some of my dialogue. That means I talk bad sometimes. But if it hadn't have been for Cale Hallman, you ever met Cale?
I have. Yep.
Well, there you go. He was
Yeah.
chairman of the board for Put Tools in Schools last year.
Oh, okay. Nice.
He has helped me, and he's not but about 30 years old.
Uh-huh.
Another young guy. But he has helped me tremendously with my soft skills.
Right.
Here we got a 30-year-old man. He told me, he sat me down and said, "You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to quit." So, and I have.
Right.
And thank you, because it works better.
Right.
And I appreciate it, just like Ron Schaefer was to you.
Right.
But those good role models at 30 years old, and here's something else that is a challenge, and I think you would agree, finding leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you find that to be challenging this day and time?
Yeah, 100%. Something me and Alex are always working on ourselves too, is how can we be better leaders? Because if we're if we're the lid, then the organization can never grow. So we're always trying to constantly better our leadership skills as well.
It's awesome. I honor that in you both, because leadership is a dying art of business to me. There's not enough leaders. I deal with it, and why I say this is because in the past, 10 years especially. Well, prior to 10 years, I was always what I'd call an ambassador. You go out like you guys. Well, I'm sitting at the table with 2 future leaders. Well, there are not many of you. And that quality in men and women is pretty much relatively non-existent like it used to be in the old days. Now, I say the old days, what do I mean by that? 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
Because I would always be constantly on the watch for potential new leaders and the young men coming up.
Right.
Well, it got to where there weren't any. You'd go out there looking, and you'd meet them, and you'd have a conversation, and they weren't interested.
Right.
So are you finding that to be the case today?
Yeah, it's definitely hard finding good young leaders that, want to jump in an organization and grow with it.
And I bring this up because here's a company that's an example of a young company that's growing. I commend you both and honor you both and congratulate you on your courage, because it's not easy. But I will say this again: your father's still alive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Was he with you growing up?
Oh yeah.
How about you, Alex?
Oh yeah.
Nuclear families.
Yeah.
Mom, dad, sister, brother, they're all in the house, right?
Yep.
It's called a functional family. Doesn't exist much anymore, relatively speaking. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, I would agree.
Divorce rates never been higher. Single families, families being raised by mothers, boys being raised by mothers. We got an issue, and this is what I bring it up for in the conversation, because it is a growing issue. And excuse my TV there. We're working on bugs. We'll get them all out, I promise. But it's a problem in the fact of when we talk about leadership. And I bring it up because I want people to be aware of the issues out there in the workplace.
Right.
Because we need to make it better for the individuals that are in it. The number one thing we want in people is for them to be happy and content.
Right.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Because when you're not happy, you're not productive, you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to do a good job. So how do we find people that we can please? Now, I know that sounds weird. We're not in the business of pleasing people, are we? Only our customers.
Right.
But in fact, your employees are your customers too.
Yeah.
It's like I tell people too, contractors especially. I've got a rule. Personally, and you call me crazy for it, I don't work for contractors anymore unless I like them. And why? What do I mean by that? Well, contractors typically don't communicate well to their vendors. And I'm not picking on you guys. I'm not directing it to you. But am I not a customer as your subcontractor?
Yeah.
I'm another customer, aren't I?
Right.
You should treat me with the same kindness and courteous treatment that you would give your customers.
Right.
Am I right or wrong?
No, 100%.
But we don't get that.
No.
We don't get that.
Yeah.
And so that you don't communicate with me like you should. You don't, and that's number one. I don't want to do emails. If you can't talk, would you prefer to talk to somebody or write an email?
Talk on the phone. Yeah.
Yep.
And this man right here, I don't call Alex much, but I'll
You can call me. Yeah.
I'll call him more. Alex. This man answers his phone every time I've called him. Every single time I've called Josh Davis, he's answered his phone. How many times can you say that? How many times can you say that? Not call somebody.
Yeah. It's usually like the flip of a coin, whether or not people answer.
That's right.
Depending on who it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's called communication. Mm-hmm. I can get more done in a 3-minute conversation than I can get done in 4 or 5 emails.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Why do we do that? Why?
People are socially awkward now, I guess. Don't want to talk in person or talk over the phone.
They use it as a shelter, as
Yeah.
a cover up. They hide behind it. It's something that we we need to correct. And there again, I bring all this up in business because don't you think everybody out there, your customers, deal with this as well?
Oh, I'm sure.
That's why you've got the business plan and example. What we call it? What we call it? Your business plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, to be what you are to people.
Yeah.
Because actually, they're the ones who pay your bill.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, like when I work for a contractor, he can't perform if he doesn't have good subs.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, to get good subs, you've got to have good communication.
Yeah.
Another thing about contractors, I got to play by all the rules.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not going to, because your rules aren't fair
Right.
as a contractor.
Sure.
And that's another reason. It's just
Right.
gotten to where you got to play, you got to wait and wait and wait. No, I don't. You know, you want some more water?
I'm fine right now. Thank you.
You good? So anyway, I'm just covering business and the way businesses operate or wish to operate in today's world, and we can't because of the challenges that are given us, right?
Yep.
Help, communication, and how do we overcome these challenges, you know? And then when we get to new employees, what's the youngest employee you got?
Probably 23.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he come right out of high school or college?
Most of them came out of high school, but they went and worked somewhere else. We had a guy that was working in the warehouse for Dollar General. He just started with us. I believe he's 22, 23.
So what kind of help you need now? Today, here we are. What kind of help are you looking for?
We could use some more sales consultants. We could use some more production, foremen, co-foremen, just helpers. Anything when it comes to working in the field, we could use help with for sure.
What would you tell somebody if they were interested in working for you, a young kid? And when I say young, y'all are young. When I say young kid, I'm talking about early 20s.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's hard work. It's very rewarding, and the harder you work, the more money you'll make too. Obviously, it's not all about money, but you know, a lot of these guys.
Oh, it is about money too.
Yeah, it's a very big part of it for sure. I mean, a lot of people that are just graduating high school, you know, you think of some of the jobs you can get. You know, if you go work for, you know, food services or something like that, you're probably going to max out at $20 an hour, at least for your first couple of years. Whereas if you get in the trades, you could be making, you know, $25, $30, $35 an hour your first year in the trades. So, you know, the sky's the limit really there, as long as you don't mind working hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if they get a job with you guys, you know, you go for some young talent and you hire someone young, do they have to travel?
Sometimes. It just depends on where the projects are. So we have some crews that'll travel, like I said, you know, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Charleston. But some guys want to travel. Some guys see it almost as a little bit of vacation.
Sure. No, I can understand that. It would be very advantageous to travel for some young people.
Right.
And fun.
Yeah.
And broaden their spectrums.
Yeah.
You know.
They like to sleep in the hotel. I think it's like a vacation.
Yeah. So there you go. Opportunities with Rhino Live Foundation Solutions. You know, and if you want to, all right, what is your, all right, I got a crack in my foundation. I got a crack. They call you up and say, I got a crack below my window, whatever. What's your procedure, your protocol?
Yeah, so usually they call in the call center, and then Catherine or a gentleman named Kevin will usually be the ones that answer the phone. Mm-hmm. They'll check our calendars, get you booked for a time slot, and then send one of our sales consultants out there. They'll meet you at the house or show them what's going on. You know, they'll do a full 360 inspection of the entire foundation, you know, take into account what the homeowner told them was going on, and then they'll do a nice, pretty drawing of the entire house, you know, where the issues are. They'll recommend a plan of repair, and then they'll show you a couple different options as far as proposals go, and then give you the next steps.
And normally, how long does it take to get? All right, they call you on a Monday, and I'm not looking for quick response, but what is the turnaround?
So right now, we've gotten a lot busier in the last couple of weeks. Right now, if you were to call in and you needed an inspection, it'd probably be about 5-7 days before we get out there and do an inspection.
And then after that, you got several weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're probably running about a 4 to 6 week backlog for the most part.
Cool. That's great. Mm-hmm. Good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, we try never to go over 6 weeks. We don't want to be so long before we can't get to a customer, but we also, you know, need a little bit of a backlog to help with just scheduling and keeping the crews efficient.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, your number one repair out there, what would you call it?
Right now, it's helical piers and foundation repairs. That's what we install the most of for sure.
Do you get? I mean, so you're talking about jacking back up houses.
Yep.
That's your number one
For sure.
task.
Yep.
Now, can I ask a question about pricing?
Sure.
I used to know back, I don't know, years ago when I'd consult with one of the owners of a foundation repair business here in Charlotte. What does a helical pier cost?
Oh, it's all dependent, but if you wanted a really wide price range, I would say between $1,700 to about $2,100
Oh,
per
okay.
pier.
Well, it
Yeah.
ain't gone up that much.
Yeah.
I was told $1,800 a piece.
Yeah, it's probably about a good average. It just depends. If we can install it with an excavator, then it's a little bit cheaper. If we have to go in there and install it with a handheld machine, then it's usually more expensive just because you can't get
Because
as
of
many in a day.
accessibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't get a machine there, it's going to cost more because
Right. Now we got a hand dig, and now we got to take that big drive head, and it's just a lot more labor intensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you got $18 a pier, $1,700 to $2,100 a pier.
Yeah, it's a good range.
And then, all right, now, and I'm just trying to educate here a little bit.
Yeah.
What assures us that we're hitting core,
Yeah, so
solid dirt?
we have it's called a digital torque indicator, and it's mounted to the drive head, and it's reading the torque the entire time we're screwing the helical pier in. So we have a torque correlation ratio that shows us, all right, if we hit this amount of torque, this correlates to this capacity as far as pounds go.
What's the deepest? Now, they'll go in different depths.
Oh, yeah.
Hit, what's your average depth, or is there such a thing?
Generally, the average is about 20 foot or so, 21 foot, but we've had some go as deep as 80 or 90 foot.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
80 or 90 foot deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's the deepest one you bored? Where's it at? The beach?
Yeah, usually at the coast you go a lot
I was
deeper.
thinking because of the sand.
Yeah, but sometimes you'll have a really bad lot. It's just got a lot of silt on there, or it was a trash pit before, and it's just you got to get through all that stuff before you hit something good.
You can tell? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah,
So if it gets real easy, you're going through some fill or
yeah.
over
They just
trash.
sink it straight down.
So they build over trash dumps.
Yeah, we've done stuff where they've had a trash pit and they filled dirt on top of it and built houses on top of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
76 piers. I can't forget that one. That was built on just a poor, compacted lot.
Yep.
Somebody failed miserably.
Yep.
Oh, well, 76 piers, though.
Yeah.
$1,800 or $1,500. Do you get cheaper by the dozen?
Yeah, usually if there's a higher, that's exactly right.
A little
we'll
discount
do some
for
volume
volume.
pricing there.
Lord of mercy, you had to have a tractor trailer to bring the piers in there. I mean, 76 piers, that's a lot of piers. What's an average pier house? You can't normally, I'm sorry to interject this question on top of another one, but there's very seldom, I'm guessing, that you can go out and sink one pier and solve the issue.
Yeah, not usually, because usually even if you're just doing like a corner, you at least need two. Sometimes in between, like garage doors, you'll have that little column in between. You can just stick one pier in there. But yeah, generally it's at least two.
You ever have them solves where the doors won't operate correctly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share? Give me a
I'd say an average pier count for a job is usually between like 4 to 8.
4 to 8.
Yeah.
I got it.
Usually it's not the whole house is sinking. It's usually like one side of it or a corner or, an addition or something like that's what's sinking.
Now, if you've got problems outside on a slab home, like you've got something subsiding, some shrinkage, sinkage, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
and you're on a slab, is that pretty much a reason for the slab to be cracked?
Yeah, usually. I mean, we always tell people all concrete's going to crack at some point. It just depends if you start getting displacement from one side or the other. So, but yeah, it's all going to crack at some point. Just matters how much is it cracking?
I went and looked at one job. There's these little epoxy things they want. What do they call? They're like
Stitches, concrete
the
stitches.
stitches.
Yeah.
Y'all do that?
Oh yeah. Do a lot of those.
So you want to explain that process? to
Yes,
me?
you think about, suturing up a wound, you think about stitching up, you have a big cut in your leg and you're stitching it up. That's basically what we're doing to concrete. So there's a crack. We come perpendicular to it and saw cut some I'd say about inch deep with about 12 inches long, put carbon fiber staples, stitches in there, and then we epoxy over all of it.
You ever seen those fail?
Not that I've seen.
Well, no, I want to know because I'm just curious.
Yeah, not that I've seen. The only way it would really fail is if one side was still sinking, because it's not going to stop it from sinking. It's just going to stop
Right.
it from pulling apart.
I got you. Wow. There's a lot to know. Mm-hmm. Who's your, how many foremen you got?
We have four to five right now. We have 4 main crews, but sometimes we stand up a 5th crew depending on how big the backlog is.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Your biggest challenge in your endeavors to make all this work is what?
I think we hit hit it earlier with communication. Communication is probably the biggest thing. I mean, getting Piers in, it's not hard. You know, selling jobs can be hard, but it's not terribly hard if you're doing it the right way. Just trying to help people is all we're doing at the end of the day. But communication from the sales team to the production team, back to the homeowner, back to the accounting team, it's just this virtuous cycle that, you know, we have to make sure we stay on top of from a communication standpoint.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about a few of our sponsors here a minute, if I may. Last week we had a great show with Teagan Statham from Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. They're a great company. They bring the showroom to you. We're talking about sales today. Well, they're a great company in the fact that if you need a floor, be it carpet, LVP, oak, hardwood, whether it's engineered, stained, sanded, whatever it might be, carpet, ceramic tile, stairways, you name it, they've got it. If you need a great flooring company with great products, great service, and they bring the showroom to you. You don't have to leave. Give them a call, go online, just Google Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, give them a call, and set up an appointment. They bring it all to you. They'll do a little bit of consulting on the phone, find out what your situation is, animals, whatever, because it all makes a big difference. They know their craft like these two gentlemen know their craft, and they'll come out and take care of you. That's Floor Coverings International. And we're talking about foundations and crawl spaces today. Kilo Exterminating. Kilo Exterminating, been in the Charlotte metro area, another family-owned business for over 70 years in the Charlotte area. 3rd generation, family-owned business, great company, and they give moisture readings with every inspection. Moisture readings, would you say they're important?
Oh, yeah.
And not all exterminating companies, pest control companies, do that. But Kilo Exterminating will give you at least 4 moisture readings in any crawl space to give you an indication of water invasive, whatever the water situation might be. But I'll give you a little hint. Your water readings, your moisture readings in the summer are going to be higher than they are in February. Now, why is that? Because February is the driest month of the year. Why is that? Because it's cold. Wouldn't we agree with that?
100%.
Yep.
Give Kilo Exterminating a buzz if you've got insect pest control issues. Termites, you should have your crawl space or wood structure at least inspected I wouldn't go beyond 2 years. A lot of people say annually. That's great, and you might want to consider that. But you get much more from Kilo than just a pest control inspection. They'll come out and tell you of other problematic areas under your crawl space that you may not know about, like fallen ductwork. See it all the time, don't you?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It's just but how do you know if you don't go under there? Not everybody likes to. We'll call Kilo. That's Kilo Exterminating. Go online, kilo.biz. Today, we have Rhino Lift Foundation Solutions in studio today. We certainly need the support. After all, this is the voice. This is the voice of Put Tools in Schools. Yes, boss. I'll get better. And we bring you up to date every week. And speaking of Put Tools in Schools, the whole mission behind Put Tools in Schools is to raise the awareness to the many career pathways and opportunities and happy associated with working with your hands and your mind, critical thinking. And we talk about it all the time on this show because we've got a big problem in this country. As we've discussed today, people are not in the trades the way we wish they were. they're not aware of it. They're all geared to go to college, but they're all not geared to work with their hands and their mind, or even know of the career pathways in the trades. Visit us, puttoolsinschools.org, the website. We're broadcasting from the Toolbox here today. The Toolbox is a facility up in North Charlotte, in the hood. I call it the hood, but we're in North Charlotte off of Sugar Creek and the Graham Street area, and we've got a connector space that we're developing that will put kids, all ages, all genders, male, female, doesn't matter. We'll connect you with at least a few hands-on tasks around electrical, plumbing, heating and cooling, carpentry, cooking. Yep, cooking too. You know how many kids can't cook? You cook.
Sometimes.
You cook? See, we got some guys that know how to cook, but you'd be surprised at who does not know how to cook, and nutrition. So we've got a facility up here. We're improving. We're putting it online, so to speak. So go to Put Tools in Schools. We can use help for leadership. What do I mean by leadership? Men who know the trades. We need teachers. We need instructors. We need men that will step up and help these kids learn about the trades. That's puttoolsinschools.org. And also brought to you in part, this program is brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Been in Charlotte since 1952. There again, another family-owned business supporting Put Tools in Schools and About Your House. Great company, best price, best product selection guaranteed. That's Queen City Home Store. Rhino Lift, Foundation Solutions in the house today talking, Foundation Solutions. And there are many of them. Do you ever go out to a house and find something and just tell them they don't need you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that happens for sure. Sometimes they'll call us because they see a crack or something they think might be foundation settlement, and we'll tell them, hey, you don't need our help right now. Here's our card. If it gets worse, give us a call. But yeah, you don't need us right now.
I tell people sometimes in the past, I call it the popsicle trick. You know where I'm going with this?
I think so.
Okay. You got a crack, right? You don't know how long the crack's been there because you didn't see it. Mm-hmm. You didn't go out. And that's another thing I would recommend to everybody with a brick veneer structure and other. If you can see, visually inspect your foundation. Walk around your house. And I like to say during a rainstorm, but not many people like to do that. But the purpose in inspecting your home and the foundation of your home is to see where problems might exist or might possibly exist. Water intrusion, water invasive, issues around water control. Well, do you know where the water's going? Do you watch it? Have you ever gone out, walked around your house and seen how the water's flowing around your house? You'd recommend that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very few people do. But if you're walking around your house and you see a crack in the brick and you wonder, well, how long's that been there? Well, I would recommend putting a gauge on it, mm-hmm. seeing if it's subsiding more. You don't know because you don't know how long it's been there, so you can hot glue or glue a popsicle stick on the crack,
right,
and leave one side of it free to move,
right,
and then mark it.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Go back 6 months later and see if there's been any movement.
Yep.
Would you recommend something like that?
Yeah, they have little crack monitors you can buy on Amazon too for
crack monitor.
Yeah, $10, $15, something
there
like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go on Amazon and get you a crack monitor.
Right.
Monitor that crack.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, but we did a house out in Coolwood in Charlotte years ago. We did some remodeling, and the lady, when we were there, she said, Ray, I got some cracks on the exterior of my house. Would you mind looking at them? And Lord of mercy, she had a handful. And then I started looking, and I said, you got issues.
Right.
She said, what do you mean? I says, how long's this been going on? She says, we've had these cracks for years. And she said, they get wider, and then they'll close up, depending on the rainfall.
Right.
I said, you're on bull tallow.
Yeah.
And she says, what do you mean? And I explained bull tallow to her. And sure enough, that house we fixed one crack, went out there 6 months later, and it had closed up. you know, and that house would move all
Right.
year long. You ever seen one like that?
Oh yeah.
The constant movement.
Yeah.
And I just told her I would. At that time, I was not knowledgeable about. This has been way years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
But nowadays, you can go in there with Helical Piers
Right.
and fix that house.
Yep.
With 76 piers. No, I'm just joking. I can't get over 76 piers. That's a lot. Was that a slab or a crawl space?
Slab.
You had to go in there and put piers under the slab too, didn't you?
Yeah, there were piers all around the perimeter. There was strip footings inside, so we had to put a lot of piers inside underneath the load-bearing walls inside too. It was a nightmare.
My gosh, I can't believe. I'm sorry to keep going back to that, but I can't imagine putting. And it was a slab. Mm-hmm. My
Yep.
gosh, they had to move out of the house.
They did actually, yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah.
And folks, that's another thing about your repair. Sometimes it's necessary for you to move out if you're in a slab. Mm-hmm. How about crawl spaces?
Not usually. Usually we can do all the repairs from underneath. The only time we need someone to move out is if the damage is that bad, or if the crawl space clearance is so low we can't physically get underneath it. Sometimes we have to rip, the subfloor out and come in from above.
And that's called poor planning on the contractor's fault, because you should never have a crawl space less than 18 inches or more, less than 18 inches,
Yeah,
right?
preferably if you can give us 30,
Yeah,
36
2 foot.
inches.
Oh, yeah,
Our
you
guys will be a
want
little
30 to
happier.
36. 5 foot's even better.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd like to stand up if I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But, so Alex, you've had him in crawl spaces?
Oh, yeah. Alex has done everything we've done so far.
Yep.
So you're well versed at what you're doing.
Done it all.
Experience, I love it, and you're not afraid of it.
Nope. Gives you a ton of appreciation for the guys that are out there doing it day in and day out. I mean, me and Josh did it ourselves for probably 2.5 years. So we can empathize with them when it's a really hot day outside and it feels cool in the crawl space when it's freezing cold. And I mean,
I like crawl space work. I wouldn't want to do it every day, but
Yeah.
I was under crawl space 2 weeks ago. I'm still crawling.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Right.
I was under one 3 days ago just looking at it.
Huh.
And I went to a house last week. It's funny. Yeah, I went to fix the drywall ceiling. It had fallen down, so we're going to put it back up. They're
Right.
going to sell their house. And she says, Ray, I got another little job for you. And this lady's OCD big time. But she's sweet as can be. And she came and she says, I got a dead rat under my house. How do you know you got a dead rat? Another example of you'll figure it out with the story. I says, you got a dead rat? How do you know you have a dead rat? Well, we had a pest control guy out here last week, and he told me I had a dead rat under my house. Why wouldn't he get it, is my question.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the exterminator guy pull the dead rat out? Here's a great example of why didn't he pull it out? So Kevin says, I'll go get it. He was with me, my helper. Kevin was in here last week, learning this. Kevin went under there. He not only found a dead rat, he found 2 dead lizards too. So we got it taken care of.
Yeah.
But crawl spaces are something else.
Oh, yeah. You see some crazy stuff under there.
See, I did a dryer vent business for 20 years.
Okay.
And dryer vents are a problem for
Yeah.
moisture
Right.
issues.
Yeah.
And you've seen that before, haven't
Oh, yeah.
you?
A lot of people have them just dumping right in the crawl space.
Which is a no-no. So, but you see this stuff. But I was out at one house one time speaking of crawl spaces and what you might see under one. And I pulled the flex hose out of the hole coming up through the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this whiff of dead all of a sudden. And I says, ma'am, you have something dead under your house. She says, how do you know? You hadn't been under there yet. I said, come here. I'll give you a clue. She came in that room and she could smell it. And I said, there you go. As soon as I walked in the crawl space door, there's a dead possum right there.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of those.
Yep.
See, I love these stories we get on about your house, all kind of stuff. But these are real, actual stories around, what you have and what a house is. And another thing, if you own a home, you own trouble.
Yep.
Sorry. It's constant, perpetual maintenance. It never stops. The house I was in yesterday,
Yep.
they've been in that house for over 40 years. And I says, money pit. And she said, you got that right. She says, but that's owning the home,
Right.
as you well know.
Yeah.
76 Piers. That's a lot. No, I mean, I keep going back there. That's why we stress planning on this program. With a proper plan, proper people to support your build, you won't have these issues. Mm-hmm. And we bring these issues up because, well, 20 years ago, there wasn't but probably 2 foundation repair businesses in Charlotte.
Right.
Today, you know how many competitors do you have? Maybe?
In the crawl space encapsulation market, a lot, probably 20, 30, if not more than that. On the foundation repair side, probably 10, 15.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's expanded tremendously and, you know, gotten a lot bigger. But who do you trust? Who do you believe? Who do you believe? Trust? That's a big question nowadays. Who do you believe and what do you believe? Mm-hmm. A lot of companies will come to your house and tell you stories just to sell you. And it's very popular these days in the Charlotte metro area that occur. Sorry to say it, but you've gone behind companies that really gave them
Oh, yeah.
a big one, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the 76 Piers, you keep going back to that. That was an engineer already had those plans done and gave them to us. So that wasn't anything we came in there and said, hey, you need 76 Piers.
You couldn't
No.
possibly do that.
No, an engineer already had the report done.
How would you go into a house and say, well, you need piers? How many? A lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many. Only an engineer can give you that.
That's right. Yeah, but some of our competitors will do that. They'll come in before us and say, yeah, you need to pier the whole house. And, you know, we'll come in there and say, I don't think that's correct. It looks like it's this side over here, but let's get an engineer to take a look at it, to your point, and tell us all what's true.
Inspections. You say you get your every job permitted.
Yeah, for the most part.
Let that be an indicator for competition too, right? Mm-hmm. If they come in your house and going to put 4, 5, 3 helical piers, are they going to permit it? Would you recommend every job be permitted?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in North Carolina as well, they require every single foundation repair job has a structural engineer stamp our plan of repair before. So
you heard it. So if that doesn't occur, why would you do it? Mm-hmm. I mean, why would you do a job on your home and invest that much money, $1,700 to $2,100 per pier? 5 of those, that's 10, 15 grand.
yeah,
Right?
yep,
To invest that kind of money, not be inspected, not be engineered, meaning stamp on the plan. They don't really, they draw a plan for that too, don't they?
yep,
They put placement on that plan.
yep. Placement, capacities, all that stuff.
You know Wynn Yates?
That name sounds familiar.
He's an engineer.
Okay.
I just threw that one out there. I
Yeah.
thought maybe I'd throw it out.
Yeah, I think I've seen their
What
reports
about
before.
IDE?
Yep.
You work with Marcel?
Yeah, we've done some stuff with them. Yeah.
Good company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I can't leave today without telling you about the NARI meeting. You know what NARI is? The National Association of the Remodeling Industry. Now you wouldn't join that one. Not a not a foundation repair business. Not a lot of remodeling going on there.
Yeah.
Not pretty stuff anyway. Right. But anyway, NARI meets once a month at normally a location of one of their members. This month, no different. ProSource on Distribution Street. NARI is this Thursday night, February 26th, 5:30 to 8 p.m. at ProSource. ProSource is a floor coverings distributor of product, be it carpet, be it I don't know what all they sell, but you know what? I'm going to go to the meeting Thursday night, and I'll tell you next week all about it. You know, and tomorrow, speaking of put tools in schools, no, we weren't, but I am. I'm going to a Bailey Middle School up in Cornelius to talk tools with the kids. I look forward to that, and I'll talk about that next week as well. But I will say this. I was out at Wolf Meadow Elementary School last Friday for about 3 hours. Wow, 3rd, 4th, 5th graders, they are in it to win it. I'm going to tell you, so engaging. They came out with a little worksheet, which is crazy. Why give kids a worksheet? Why? They're seeing the career.
Schools love worksheets.
Oh, God. Yeah, but their focus was on the worksheet and not what we had to offer. But that didn't keep them from doing anything when they came to drive nails. They put their worksheets down, and I had to remind them when it was over, have you done your worksheets yet? They says, well, what are we putting on the worksheet? That's your teacher's wheelhouse, not mine. But anyway, they're great kids. Elementary school kids are very captive and very engaging and full tilt. I mean, I love it. So I'll give you more up-to-date words on what we're doing there next week as well up at Bailey Middle School tomorrow. Look forward to it. Look forward to working with the kids. Would y'all be interested down the road to bring some of your equipment to a career day?
Sure.
Could we get you involved in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and maybe down the road when you get set a little bit, you could be a program sponsor, but we'll talk about that as we evolve.
Sure.
You know, get more into it. But see, this is what I want. I want one of your little excavators to show up, and the kids could at least sit on it. I didn't say operate. You know, they got the simulators for that.
Yeah, yeah.
They are awesome. You know, and Hoopah Grading's got.
Yeah, I was going to say they have some pretty crazy ones.
God, they got some dynamite simulators.
Yeah.
Hoopah's got it going on when it comes to working with the kids. But the simulators, but it would be great if you could come to a trade career day and with some equipment so the kids could see it.
Yeah.
Now you got to admit, you cannot. I bet you've been on those little mini excavators.
Oh,
haven't you? Have you sat on one yet?
Oh, yeah.
You played with it? Isn't that fun?
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
See, toys.
Yeah.
Like Tonka trucks.
Yeah.
Tonka toys. I mean, big toys. And think about the kids that would gravitate to that.
Right.
And see, it's so simple that all I've got to go do at one of these events. And by the way, I'm wearing my uniform, Uncle Ray. And that works too because they look at me and say, "Hey, Uncle Ray." I said, "It works." And they remember that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
They will remember it. But you show up, you put your 20-volt battery tools, maybe 9 or 10 of them on one end of the table, and you put hand tools on the other. And they just see the tools and come up to you and say, "What you doing?" Then they ask questions, and you put a tool in, like a multi-tool. You know what a multi-tool is? You do? Congratulations. You know what a multi-tool is? Yeah, I didn't think he knew. These guys are workers. Richard, no, I'm not just picking on it. But
We're in a different industry.
that's right. That's right. But a multi-tool with a saw blade on it's very safe. It really won't do much damage to any kids. Even if you stick the blade up to you, it's just going to scare you. But it won't hurt you unless you want to hurt somebody. You throw it at them, that'll hurt. But a multi-tool, but you give them a multi-tool and say, pull the trigger.
Right.
And they're just intrigued as can be, you know. So all you got to do is get them and engage them. Once you engage the kids, people asked me the other day, how'd you do this? Just think of things that's going to engage them, capture their interest.
Right.
And you got them.
Yep.
One little boy, I'll never forget him, Friday, he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. He just kept hanging on. I said, "You love this, don't you?" He said, "Yeah, I do." I says, "I can tell." All right, guys, what do you want to leave with telling our listeners?
Yeah, well, we appreciate you having us on. You know, there's a lot of opportunity in the trades right now. Like I said, everyone thinks, you know, you have to go to college. I went to college, went and got a master's degree. Don't regret it, but also you don't have to do that to be successful in life. You can just go get your hands dirty, jump into any blue-collar trade right now, and it's probably the best place to be for the next couple of decades, in my opinion.
AI will not take your place.
That's right.
When you get in trades, if you've got a child, a grandchild, a family member, whatever, and you want to assure them of a good, solid career in future, get into the trade.
Yep.
It's not going away. It'll be here forever. AI can't fix your power problems. AI can't fix your plumbing problems. It sure as heck can't put a helical pier in.
Yep.
I promise you. So that's rhinoliftfs.com. That's where I'd start. Got a great website, very informative, very informational, educational, you might say. Good job, good
Thank you.
job. And I honor both of you and respect what you're doing. I think you're great guys. I wish you nothing but success and happiness, really.
Yeah, same to you.
And to the new father in a year or two,
Yeah.
Alex here, starting out in life, great. I wish you nothing but happiness and success. But for now, next week, more about your house coming your way on Fox Sports Charlotte. Make it a great week. Find the elderly around you. Spread some love. Be happy. Spread love. Find a kid to mentor. Make it a great week. We'll be back here. I don't know off the top of my head who my guest is going to be. I'm not up to par, am I? Oh, well, tune in. We'll turn on and we'll